Hello everybody, this is Cybernethy, and welcome to Uniques United. This is actually an RPG that I've been working on for about 3 months now. And here, I'm working on the latest version. It's going to be... Welcome. Oh, one second. Uniques United. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, I will be checking up on the comments as they roll in. I haven't been streaming for very long, so I haven't quite learned how it works yet, so please excuse any what I call unprofessional errors. I'm not a professional streamer, I'm just a guy making a game. Okay, so I'm going to start with a new game. And here we have a little character down there. This game uses entirely original sound effects, by the way. I made them myself. I'm not going to be talking too much except answering comments because I want you to enjoy the game, at least as far as it's come along. So here we go. Okay, just a disclaimer now. This game is in a very early alpha. It's in development. There are going to be lots and lots of flaws at times. This is part of the process, and if you happen to spot them, and I'm not aware of them already, feel free to point them out. It'll help me improve the overall quality of the game. Now I'm going to show you, this is going to be a complete, as far as I can get, playthrough of the game, the demo as is thus far. It's a fairly short demo in terms of the general amount of things, but it lasts quite a long time if you play it fully. Let's put it that way. I put most of the work in on the combat system. So I'm going to put my mic further away so you don't hear me breathing all the time, and you will get to see me play the game. Now there is a playable demo. There is a playable demo of this game. In fact, if you go to, if you ask, I'll post a link. Yeah, just ask me and I'll post a link for you, because I haven't really been working with Twitch too long, and I don't really know how to set up things properly. So, I'm still new to streaming, but hopefully that won't be a problem. So, here we go. On with the game.
You suck punji sticks.
That's my little Easter egg.
What the heck? Oh god, not this place. This is a place known as Krolok Castle. My brothers and I have been here before, and I've read a couple stories on the history of this place before we visited the castle itself. Apparently, this one magician started to study dark magic and he really wasn't ready for it. So one day, he decided to experiment with it. What he didn't know was that the stuff that can be conjured from the book he was reading could become self-aware. Because he wasn't ready to exert control over stuff like this, the demons escaped and started to wreak havoc on and take control of the castle. Now we have this. A dark, creepy, haunted castle with a mind of its own. God knows what could happen here.
Scribe is the absolute first skill you should go after. It's in a little envelope inside the kitchen area where the oven is. You click on the letter. What Scribe does is it lets you harness the enemy's own spells. It takes a certain number of them. They use charges. It's kind of like the draw system in Final Fantasy VIII, where you take a number of the enemy's own spells. You can use it in your own strategy. I'll show you what it does when the next battle comes up. First battle, as a matter of fact. Yes, don't be afraid to interact with objects in the game, for like this book, for example, because this game is designed to have a sense of humor, and it rewards players who have a sense of humor. It gives you stat boosts. Excuse me. I had to sneeze. Yes, this is what, excuse me. This is how Scribe works. You harness a certain number of charges or uses on an enemy spell, and it stores it in this little menu called Stored Magic. You can use the enemy's own spells against them, or to help you. Lightning Reflexes. Let me explain how Foresight works. You see those two little spherical things up there? Those are the number of turns you have total. The number of turns that the entire party has. And I've got 1 turn left. Foresight raises that number by 1, so initially you'd have 1 turn. But because you're facing so many enemies as one character, you need Foresight. That'll bring it up to 2. Now, if you don't... see that little DR meter down there? Below hit points, where the number 28 is. That's called Drive. And Drive is what you use for certain attacks and moves and special abilities. And you need 6 Drive in order to cast Foresight. Now, if you don't have it, Lightning Reflexes is a great substitute for it. It works exactly the same way. It gives you an extra turn, and I believe it raises a couple other stats too. So that's why I got this thing early, because as an archer here, he's actually very, very powerful because he's more designed for like a mid-level sort of thing. Mid-level party. But I put 1 here because on their own, they are beatable. You just have to know what you're doing. And that sucks if you're playing this for the first time because you won't know what you're doing because you never played the game before, and I have not really set up a good tutorial system. So I'm here to help players who want to learn more about the game get acquainted with this before they start playing, or if they just want to catch up on stuff, or if they just want to see me play it and see what it has to offer so far. This version I'm working on has not been released yet. It's not finished. So anyway, back to the gameplay. Also, I'm putting my mic back there so you don't hear me breathing all the time. Alright. This is where you'll want Lightning Reflexes, because as you can see, my drive meter is at 0, and I'm facing 2 enemies. we are going to keep doing this until level 5, and then we'll enter a new area, because there are regions where the enemies get tougher. And these guys are a challenge right now at level 3. Now, sometimes characters can learn skills and abilities on their own through leveling, like Miranda just did here with the assault skill. Attacks one target 3 times. Shadow Meld actually reduces physical damage by 60%. Now, some of these descriptions of the skills have been truncated because I've installed a new script recently, which is supposed to help kind of, I don't know, I can't remember why I installed the script, to be honest, but it does something. But in the meantime, it kind of cuts off some of the text, so you won't see like the second sentence. In this case, Shadow Meld does, it reduces physical damage by 60% for a few turns. That's why I'm using it now, because this guy is tough. Insidious Knife is nice because it ignores enemy defense, and it is not affected by physical damage reduction. It pierces defense or resistance to it. Enemies can attack first, they can surprise you, so it's important to keep your health above 50% for this very reason. The enemies can, and often do, surprise you, so if you're caught off guard, you could die before turn 1. So just keep that in mind. Equipment levels up too, so that's also a nice thing to have. Okay, Miranda is now level 5. I believe we are ready to enter the next room. I like putting little bits like that there. Yeah, Fiery Aura deals extra 50% fire damage on top of your attacks. It works very nicely with Assault. That's why you want to keep your health above 50%. That happens. That was probably one of the most intense battles I've ever had playing Unix United. And I've been working on this for about 4 months, so... Whew! Oh. That was intense. I almost died. And now we have ghosts. don't know if you've noticed yet, but as you gain levels, the enemies gain new skills. Miranda is going to learn a skill called concentration soon. When we learn that, we're going to go into a secret area. A new area. I shouldn't say secret, but somebody's going to find it eventually. In this demo, you can expect to have quite a bit of grinding in it. Now, that's for most people that's unpleasant, but this is the map is very small, so there's not a lot really to explore. But I packed a lot into it, and I'm actually got a surprise at the end of it. This area is quite small, and that's pretty much the whole map. But it's not the whole demo. You'll see why sometime later down the stream. We're just trying to get to level 7 or 8. There we go, we learned concentration. I'll explain what it does. Okay, concentration basically, if you cast it, it takes 10 drive to do it, but if you cast it, it reduces the casting cost of the spells which do cost energy. That little blue bar up there, every skill that costs that is, the cost is cut in half. And it restores 20% of your energy, which is great because it makes Miranda a self-supporting, a self-sufficient character. She doesn't have to rely on magic potions or anything like that to restore her energy. goes right through. Less than my dried mangoes. Oh, by the way, you see the little text down at the bottom of the screen that's kind of hidden? Well, if you press shift, it gives you the enemy stats and resistances and stuff, and the more you kill them, the more enemies you defeat of that type, the more you learn about them. Okay, we've hit $550. Now, if you remember earlier, dollars are what looks like the dollar sign in the game down at the bottom left. It's not the game's actual currency. It's the approximate value of all the treasures that you find in their many forms if they were converted to dollars, their approximate value. So I think that's a really handy way of establishing a currency system. This is why the altar is here. The more money you get, you can buy these things. And we're going to go for the green orb, since we are going to need that in our next battle, in our next fight. Okay, notice how the ghosts come in different colors. They are different strengths. The green ones are the weakest, the blue ones are the next stage up, and the red ones are the strongest, but they have different skills, which you will see in a minute. Now, when you face this at this level, the first thing you want to do is get rid of the smaller ones, because they are going to add extra damage. If you're not careful, they might destroy you in one turn, so Good thing we have enough drive to cast Foresight, because we'll need that. This is the first time Salvo has missed all 3 times. Yeah, you need to be careful of that. So, let's see, we can use Leech. Okay, next up we want to cast Vampiric Claw on this guy. And cast Shadow Meld. The reason I come here at this level instead of later is because the stronger enemies' later skills are very, very deadly, especially in a group like this. Let's cast Fiery Aura. Okay, now that it's down to these two, you can start to absorb their skills, so let's do that. Let's start with the Apparition. This guy has Regenerate and Flurry. Let's start with Regenerate. Now this guy has a really, really nice skill called Shrapnel. That's the one you gotta be careful of. That is dangerous. That's what it looks like. Oh damn, I just went right through that, pressed the enter bar and the space bar, not realizing that I've read it so many times I know what it is, but this is the first time some people are gonna read it. I am so sorry. And now we have a new guy joining the party. He's actually, he's at level 1 right now, but he's very beefy. Very, very powerful. In fact, if you look at the hit point totals, Miranda isn't that much farther ahead of him. Wait till he gets to level 8. I'll show you why. Now this would be a good time to start stocking up on skills while you're bringing Muddy up to your level. Also, the more party members you have, the more what's the word? They split experience evenly among the characters. So the more characters you have in your party, the less experience each individual character gets. But sometimes I like it that way because you can go off and you can kill lots and lots of enemies. You can bring other skills up that way. And you can stockpile on magic like I'm doing here right now. Sorry, I hit shift instead of enter. Yes, at Miranda's level now, ghosts start to use leech. Watch what Smash does. It's like an extra powerful attack. A normal physical damage attack. This is Flurry right here. And notice how Mladivuk is catching up very quickly with Miranda in terms of hit points. You start to get a feel of the game after a while. And you instinctively know what to do next. And that's where the real fun comes in. When you know what you're doing. Also, you'll notice a couple things. The archers now use salvo, because Miranda is level 8, and the Vladivuk's smash attack has a chance to stun, which is excellent because it can throw an enemy off guard, off balance, and it causes him to lose his turn, which is great if you need to do something quickly before your character dies. You can throw him off balance, and you can get the extra turn in. The pace of gameplay will start to accelerate as we hit the higher levels. You see why. Vladivuk also now knows how to use Vampiric Claw, just like Miranda. Except Miranda's was an acquired skill. Vladivuk's was learned, like, innately. Also, you notice that food items are a part of the game. These are actually going to be a very important source of healing and whatnot. And Miranda later will have the ability to cook, which means she can combine simple food items into recipes, which give you more advanced benefits and stuff like that. But that comes later, in a later version. I haven't implemented it yet. For experience. Not far to go. Not far to go at all. In fact, we're not even far away to go for another magic orb in terms of cash. Cold hard cash. think once we reach, yeah. After this battle, Miranda will probably be level 9, and Ludovic will probably level 5. And in that case, we shall go ahead, get our stuff from the little orb shop, and then proceed to the next area. Yep. Miranda's level 9 and Ludovic is level 5. And notice how Ludovic now has more HP than Miranda does. He catches up quickly. Now we shall go off and get our items. First, we shall get our magic water. Oh, I forgot to equip Miranda with hers. My god. Am I a dummy or what? Let's go back upstairs. And then head off to the next area. There's Mr. Tenor High. I think we can manage it at this point. Before we take on, let's get some spells first. Notice how there's a new enemy in here, the blue head that's up on the top left. We want to get his skill first and foremost because it's very, very handy. Mass Energize. All allies regenerate hit points and energy points. Very handy. Let's see what we can smash first. That one. Yes, the spirits now cast Regenerate. Green orb levels up. That does nothing though. Okay, one more enemy, one more battle and such, and we'll face a very special foe. Oh, it's the exact same thing. Okay, let's cast Mass Energize. I meant to click on the blue guy. The blue spirit. There we go. Ladifuga is now at level 6. Noise learned. I'll show you what that does soon. Okay. Let's try to get her to... Oh, okay. It's gonna be a while before she gets level 10. Okay, let's go ahead and show you what this guy is. Let's do it. This is Kurlock himself. Kurlock is the owner of the castle. Let's cast Shadow Meld. Let's cast Noise. Yeah. I haven't really balanced him out that much. He is tough, but there are ways you can really screw him over. You can control this guy. And we are going for Freaky Magic. Freaky Magic is a skill that only Kurlock has at this point. And because he is not... you only fight him once in this demo. So get as many Freaky Magics as you can. Or as many as you want, because you won't be able to get them after this point. At this point in time. Freaky Magic. Let's cast Mass Energize. As he might pull a magic grab out of his head. He's powerful. He's powerful, especially at later levels, because he has a shrapnel skill. And a ton of hit points. A lot of prep work you want to do first before tackling this guy. Just cast Fiery Aura. This guy is casting Shadow Melt, but because we managed to cast Fiery Aura, it will still deal a significant amount of damage if we use Assault. Just he has a lot of health. We can stun this guy too. There we go. Ooh, Longsword found, Circlet found. Miranda is now level 10, Melodifuga is now level 8. Ether Swipe learned, Electrocute learned, and Cold Grip learned. Oh man. Miranda. I let Miranda because she don't give a crap. She does not care at all. Nothing stands in her way. Okay, Ladifuga is now very, very beefy at level 8. Okay, let's see. Let's equip Miranda with this new stuff. Now, as you'll notice, the scimitar initially is stronger than the longsword, but because the longsword is at level 1 and the scimitar is level 3, the longsword will get more powerful. I still keep the shield. Also, the circlet, very, very nice because it takes care of Miranda's lower stats. And ironically, her magic, despite being the weakest stat right now, she deals the most damage with her magic, I believe. I'm not sure, I have to look into it. But yeah. Miranda is quite the powerhouse now. Alright. Let's see what we can do here. Let's tackle one more of this thing. Anybody here? Let's cast a few salaries. Also, I'm going to show you what Electrocute does. Also, the attack animations are different for each weapon. Now at this point, you still want to keep your characters as healthy as can be, because the enemies can surprise you. You'd think that your characters will be safe because they go for each character, instead of aiming on one, but they still do aim on one character sometimes, and especially around this slot, you want to be careful around this slot, because now that we've got the normal archers, they're a pain on their own, but the red one is especially dangerous. And what we want to do is cast Lightning Reflexes, and then cast Mass Energize, because they cast magic too. And if they all go for magic, then yeah, Shadow Meld won't be much good against these guys. Yeah, this guy casts a nice, lovely big fireball to burn us. So let's take care of these guys first. That's why I want to have Shadow Meld on. Even with Shadow Meld on, they deal chip damage, like 5, 6, 7. Doesn't look like much at first, but it adds up if more than one is casting it. Is using Salvo. Okay, so let's go ahead and scribe. What does this guy have to offer? Brothers in Arms. Nice big whopping 10. Alright, next up, Fire Arrow. Fire Arrow will set your character on fire, so be careful. It's like a negative health regeneration. Obviously. Yeah, on their own, the fireball deals a lot of damage. So, we want to get that too. Archers do not hold back at this level. I'm gonna tell you now. Let's see if we can scribe some more stuff off this guy. Some more stuff. He also casts Firebolt, but because it's not a drainable skill, that's because Miranda has it already to start with. I may include it as a usable, like, stored magic skill. Okay. Once we get to, let's see, we've got some more stuff. We have enough to go get like, okay, we're in this again. We have enough to go get some more stuff, but I want to save until 1,000 because we get better orbs that way. Lightning Reflexes, and then cast Shadow Meld, or Mass Energize. This guy will cast Shadow Meld. Yes, that guy knows, the Red Archer knows Foresight too, so you want to be wary of that. That also increases their magic power, so this guy is especially dangerous now. However, if we circumvent that, let's try to use Smash. Actually, no, let's take out the smaller guys first, because they have the capacity, they can become a nuisance very, very quickly. So let's take this guy out with a nice big shrapnel, and then Cold Grip to finish him off. And then Fiery Aura. Use Assault on this guy. Bring his health down to a level where we can take him out. And Brothers in Arms. Alright. One more. And then we finish him off. Fire arrow. Yeah, that deals a lot of damage, so yeah. And it has the capacity to set you on fire. Let's see, what have we got? Oh, I forgot to give him his ether gem. Okay. It boosts maximum energy. So get him than that. Also, we have kind of revive potions, I guess. It's called an extra life because it literally is an extra life. That's what it does. Alright. I think now we are ready to enter the next zone. Did not mean to do that. Let's go in this area. This area is best that Miranda says, okay, I get it. That's like a fourth wall. That's like a fourth wall thing. Okay. What is this guy? Dark Shade, he's not much of a threat. Kill him. Throwing knives found. Yeah, so these guys drop throwing knives, by the way. Very nice early game item. Okay, now we've got some fierce resistance right here. Cast Foresight, and as you'll notice, there are a few new enemies in here, which we will want to pay very careful attention to. First off, let's cast Noise on this guy, because he's very, very powerful with magic. Yes, and this guy has the ability to weaken you, which reduces your physical attack damage by 50%. But Miranda is more of a magic-y type more than anything. Okay, this would be a good time to cast Freaky Magic. It reduces their attack effectiveness in some way, either magical or physical. So let's go ahead and grab some electric bubbles. That's his big attack. That's the one you want to worry about because it attacks two targets. Two random targets, mind you, so it could attack one character twice. Fire Para, Assault. Let's get rid of this guy. What about Smash? Yeah, this, in this case, the ghosts actually cast Ether Swipe now, which is their strongest skill because it ignores defense. It ignores defense and magic resistance. that we have 1,000. Let's go ahead and get that orb that we really want. Now we can get some better orbs this time. Including... let's get the magic orb. Because Miranda has the lower of the hit point totals, let's give her the magic orb. It raises your magic resistance by 10%. I'm not sure how it works because of the leveling system on the items too. Okay, Black Beast, Black Beast. These are guys that we've never fought before. The other ones were Dark Shades, but these guys are much more powerful. So the first thing you want to do is cast Shadow Meld, because otherwise they're gonna have you for dinner. Also, they know Vampiric Claws so that they can actually heal themselves that way. Let's cast Brothers at Arms. It raises your attack damage by 40%. And on that note, let's cast... Shrapnel. I think now would be a good time to cast a little old fireball. There we go. Modific is now level 10. Pretty soon we will reach the point where they learn all the skills they are capable of now, but that won't be just yet. That will be some point in the future. Alright, let's see if we... I think Fireball will be very, very handy here. Bubbles. And let's cast some Vampiric Claw. And it failed. Quite ready to take on the stronger... Yeah. Yeah, this is a nice assortment of enemies right here. So right away you want to cast Mass Energize. The more assorted they are, the more dangerous they can be. Yeah, that shrapnel skill is one you want to watch out for, because that's powerful right there. So let's go ahead and use Salvo. Mess things up in there. Okay, Assault. Alright, missed twice. At this point, you gotta remember what statuses your characters have, like status effects, and you probably can't see Mighty Fuchs because it's hidden under the others, but he's actually weakened right now, which means his physical attacks won't be very effective. But we have things to counteract that. Such as foresight. Oh, that guy actually has Shadow Meld on him. Okay, so let's take care of this real quick. Let's give him a taste of, let's say, lightning bolt. There we go. Miranda's now level 12. Notice how we're gaining levels much faster. It's because we're becoming stronger and more numerous enemies. And we are already able to get our next orb. So I think after this one, we'll see how far we get. And if we want to, go ahead and let's cast it on the spirit. Concentration. And let's cast Vampiric Claw. Yes, the enemies can wear you down if you're not careful. So do be careful, which is why we have Mass Energize. There we go, took him out with a nice big assault. As of right now, the enemy AI strategy isn't too focused right now because I've never worked with AI before. I'm just using the game's inbuilt, the engine's inbuilt AI system. This is RPG Maker VX Ace, by the way, in case you couldn't tell. Miranda's getting really powerful with shrapnel. Mladivuk has learned Disorientate. It basically reduces agility, which is a factor into some attacks. Okay, let's see if we can get a nice orb. It raises, let's get one from Mladivuk, because he could use one. Equip. There we go. Now we're going to go back up into the first floor. And let's see what we can do here. Go back into the room. I think after a few more battles we'll be able to take on the tougher areas. yes, enemies do in fact cast energize, or mass energize. The original title of the spell was energize, but then I changed it to mass energize because I changed it to to affect all party members. Okay, extra life found, which is good. If you die, it's not permanent. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Okay, I think we might be ready to handle the next area. Locked but haven't. Okay, let's see what we can do in here. Dark shape, no problem. This demo is really short. We're approaching the end of the first half. But there's a lot put into it. I don't know how long I've been streaming, but it must have been like an hour or something. This demo has a lot of time, like, you know, gameplay hours for its size. There's a lot that's been put into it. Okay, these are not. There we go. Now we're facing new enemies. These guys are tough. And you'll see why in a minute. They have a spell called Degenerate. Target loses 15 hit points each turn. We don't need Shadow Melts, since these are electric-based attacks that we're dealing with here. So instead, we want to cast Foresight. Yeah, they are very powerful with their drain spells. Let's get another one of these. Uses like a magic thing, fiery aura, so I want to take this guy out first because this guy adds on to the attack damage that it does. Yeah, as you can see, the regular attack damage dealt more from the fiery aura than the lightning bolt spell, which is supposed to deal a bit more. So mass energize, and I think this time we want to cast a good old Degenerate. And it works. Okay, so actually what happens is if you cast Regenerate and you get a Degenerate cast on top of you, the two will try to cancel each other out. But because mine is more powerful, my regenerating force is more powerful than that of the Degenerate, I actually gain a little bit more health. But you still want to pay attention to that. Let's cast Smash. Do Smash. These guys are more resilient than I first. There we go. Malefica is now level 13, or 12, and Miranda is now level 13. Okay. Now this is only possible, the number of enemies that are in the room, this is only possible with a script that I installed called Large Troops. What's the best thing for a group of large enemies? A large group of enemies? Fireball. There we go. whatever you do, you don't want to get surprised with them because they're small in numbers, but they're large in numbers, and they can actually make up for their own. Yeah. Speak of the devil. Okay, so what we want to do is cast Mass Regenerate, or Mass Energize. Let's see, we've got Vampiric Claw. Let's go for this guy. Yeah, the apparitions are particularly powerful because of their Ether Swipe skill and shrapnel. So you want to be very careful of that. Best thing to do is just to take as many out in the beginning as you can. In this case, I'm going to use Leech. And I'm use Vampiric Claw to finish this guy off. Alright, these guys are really... Alright. Vampiric Claw. Thank God the shrapnel missed. Alright, this would be a good time to start leeching some of these guys to death. And then finish. Let's cast Salvo. And then with the Vampiric Claw, we finish this guy off. Or not. Can you see how resilient these guys are quickly becoming as you gain higher levels? Vuk is now level 13. Headbutt learned. Headbutt is also a very powerful skill. It deals more damage than Smash, but unlike Smash, Headbutt does not stun enemies. We haven't met the blue archers yet. Those are quite possibly the most powerful enemies in the game. There we go. Let's get our bottles changed up. And let's go ahead and grab our new orb. Shadow orb. Or... let's get a shadow orb. Equip this on Miranda. And this will reduce physical damage by 10%. Which is nice because she has the lower of the two hit point totals. Also, they are now the same level, and look at the hit point totals. Vuk has about 150% more health than Miranda does. And Vladivuk also deals more physical damage than Miranda does, which was the intent. Has to disorientate. Headbutt. Very, very powerful. Miranda is now level 14. Okay. Next battle, I want to show you what a Molotov cocktail does, because that was the first thing we got in the beginning, nearly, and I never show you what it does. Probably not the best place to do it. That's what Fireball is for. And then, did you know that Vladivuk can also throw knives? Next battle against some stronger enemies, I'll show you what the Molotov cocktail does. This is more like it. Before we use the Molotov cocktail, these guys can actually pose a threat. So let's do something about that. Let's take care of... Let's go ahead and cast Mass Energize. Headbutt one of these guys. Didn't quite take him out. Alright, so... lightning bolt. Let's get rid of this guy before it becomes a problem. Okay, so... disorientate. start throwing fireballs and fire arrows around, that's when they become dangerous, especially if they've got the Brothers in Arms skill activated, which they like to throw around often, apparently. Alright, this guy, this time we should cast Mass Energize and Shadow Meld. Oh, we actually get a nice return. Okay, that's nice. We surprised them, apparently. Let's see. I think good Ether Swipe would be nice. Oh, I'm gonna show you what a Molotov cocktail does now. It sets them on fire, and it deals a lot of damage. Let's use lightning bolts. Miranda is now level 15. Martyfolk is going to learn a very, very powerful skill soon, and we want to build his level up to 15 or 16 so he can learn it. Once we do, we'll enter the next area. May I say the last area. But it isn't the end of the game. Far from it. In fact, I'll do that in another stream. Miranda's getting very, very powerful now. Alright. And let's see. Magic water. Oh, blueberries. Blueberries actually restore health and energy. And they drop sometimes from archers. Alright, let's see, what can we do here? How about a nice fireball to brighten up the day? The first time we ever got hit, like full force from a shrapnel. without getting, without hitting Shadow. Oh, okay. Alright, let's take care of this. Leech him to death. Yeah, even at this level, the enemies can still wipe your party out. If you're not careful. That's the skill. Almighty Pounding. So. Okay, so let's do it. We'll handle 1 or 2 battles in here and then we'll... Yep. Now this is the mightiest force of them all. And you'll get to see the blue archers for the first time. Okay, let's lightning reflexes. And let's cast a fireball to wipe out as many of the ones at the back as we can. We didn't wipe any of them out. Oh boy, I think we're in trouble. Oh no, we can use Disorientate. Yeah, the right selection of attacks has to line up before they can really become a nuisance. But that was close. Alright, enough fooling around, let's cast Fireball. I actually had my heart come for a minute. I thought, oh god, what have I done? Okay, so let's go ahead and cast Vampiric Claw on one of these guys. Okay, so they're no longer disoriented. So, Mass Cure and Iron Will are these guys' specialties. Let's go ahead and cast Mass Cure right now. Alright, should be able to handle this now. Alright. Alright, this guy cast Iron Will. Now, time for Almighty Pounding. What a lovely finish. Miranda is now level 16. Okay, guys. This is the end of the first stream. We're gonna go through that hole next time, and that's where the surprise is. But I'll save it until later. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching this little stream. And this is also going up on YouTube, because I want people to watch how the game works when you know what you're doing. Because I didn't make a good enough tutorial. In fact, it's still in the works right now. And this also shows off some of the stuff that's being planned. It's in the works right now. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you next time.